good evening, and all good points in between, as it is 44 past the hour in the entertainment capital of the world here in Las Vegas, as we welcome you to the Larry Allen, John Hanna, Joe Klecko, Joe Thomas, and the Hall of Famer Leo Nomalini, of course, longtime Niner Hall of Famer, to the 73rd edition of the Other Side of the Ball. Double A Anthony Alvarez here with you live from World Headquarters, and I'm looking at 3 bottles of light beer. Anyhow, the Viking, Scott McCorkle, is with me.
Top of the morning.
As,
welcome to the fucking trenches.
Right?
That's what this episode is. Welcome to the fucking trenches.
If you like big boy football, or as we like to say, thick boy season, this is the episode for you. But we're not alone. As you can see, it's just me and Scott in the studio. Chris is on assignment, but we do have a special guest panelist joining us from the Florida Keys. Is the one and only commissioner of the Florida division of the A7FL, one Mr. Nick Alamo. Nick, how are you, sir?
Good. How you guys doing?
Thank you for coming on. Now, real quickly, as you will be our special guest panelist for this particular episode, real quickly, give us your background of how you got involved in A7, how you eventually became the commissioner of the Florida division, which also hoists the defending Eastern Conference champions, the Tampa Nightcrawlers.
Yeah, so my journey started back in 2017. I created a relationship with Brian DePaul, and I was just messaging him, asking him, "Hey, this league looks great. You guys need to expand this league." Kept talking to him. Eventually, we built a relationship where he could trust me and just get the ball rolling down in Florida. Gave me the keys and everything that I needed to get set up down here, and we just ran with it. And this is where we're at now. So it's been fun, and I'm glad to be here.
Well, thank you for coming in. So tell us about your football background a little bit.
So I just played football in high school. Not really big on, any college or anything, but I just played football in high school. Balled out a little bit, and then I did play in the A7FL my first season.
Oh yeah, what team did you play for?
I played wide receiver, and believe it or not, I was like one of the top 5 leading receivers in receiving touchdowns that year. So I actually had a pretty good year, but it was more because people underestimated me. I snuck into the backfield, wide open, catch the ball, score a touchdown. So. Hey, couldn't get any easier, but it was fun. Had a blast, and we grew from that. We started, getting more players our second season, and, push come to shove that I didn't really need to play anymore. Let the guys ball out and do their thing. So here I am now.
So from your little bio, you said you grew up in New York. What part of New York did you grow up in?
Yeah, so I kind of moved around a little bit. I was born in Smithtown, Long Island. Lived in Brooklyn for a little bit. Moved back to Long Island, lived in Medford, Central Islip, and then moved down to Florida in my teen years and been here since. So been here for about 10, 12 years. Since 2011. So
I take it you enjoyed the Florida winters more than the New York. Is that a safe assessment to make?
Definitely, but the summers, hell no. Summers be killing it, man. I can't do the humidity, but
you have my sympathy dealing with that because I couldn't do it.
You guys are hot over there in Vegas too.
But it's not as humid as it is in Florida because I'm just speaking for me because if I go there, I would start sweating instantly because, well, number one, I'm bald, and that doesn't help. So,
dude, you have no idea, man. Yeah, that's why I was like, if you noticed the first season, Nightcrawlers have black jerseys.
Yes,
they couldn't do that anymore, man. That heat, dude. It was, and for me, I like to take care of my players, make sure any safe avenue we can take is, my top priority. So switching them out of those black jerseys, getting them something cooler to, play in, definitely,
Now, are you looking to expand to add more teams in the state? Because how many teams currently are in Florida right now? How many currently speaking?
So originally we started with 4 teams our first season, but being our first season, they weren't really filled as much as they should be. So instead of having the 4 teams, we came back down to 3. And that way, more competition for each team, because you don't want to have 10 guys on a team going up against, like BIC or Patterson U. That was our main focus back then. but or even you guys, you guys got stacked teams too. So it's like, why have a team with 10 people on it when you can merge some teams together? That way it's more competitive for us down here too, because we don't want to have one team have all all the like 30 players where one team has 10, 12. It's not fair to the rest of the league down here. So, and then obviously, competition wise throughout the nation, we want to be able to compete. We want to be able to win. So we broke it down to only having 3 teams. It was better for us. So.
All right. Well, Nick, like I said, Nick will be a guest panelist for the whole entire show with us, but we are going to get to our first guest. He's one of the newest members to the Wolfpack, the defending champions that is the Insomniacs, and you can plug him in wherever, defense, offense, it doesn't matter. The man just come on and seemingly makes plays. Man stepped in big time in the championship game when Chris McWilliams went down. By the way, shout out to McWillie. Get better as you are now starting the healing process, and hopefully we'll see you back out there on the field sometime during the spring. But our first guest from the Insomniacs, big number 80, Chris Cunningham. Chris, welcome to the show. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for coming on. So, what led you to this unique world that is the A7FL?
Well, so I play for the Ballhawks flag football team. A lot of those guys play for the Insomniacs, obviously. They reached out to me. I was like, come try this out. I was like, you guys are crazy. That's all for you. I'll stick to flag when I can play. I'm good. And then, so James hit me up months later. They're about halfway through the season. Goes, hey, I know you work 6 to 6 on Sundays. We have 7 p.m. games. Come try it out, see how you feel, and then maybe you can come join us in the playoffs. So James is hard to say no to. I've known him for years. So
Very persuasive, I see.
Yes. So I gave it a shot, loved it. Came out for a couple games. Didn't get to join them in the playoffs due to my wife being very pregnant. So had to be home for that.
By the way.
Thank you. And so then I took some Sundays off to play in the fall. Kind of used that as my little, show my skill to the rest of the Insomniacs guys that didn't really know what I'm about, because some of them didn't play with me in flag or anything. So that was my little tryout with them, I guess you could say.
So obviously you play either tackle or end on the defense, play tight end on offense. Which side of the ball do you prefer, or there's no preference?
My passion is tight end. I think it's the best position in the game, but I have more fun on defense, honestly. I like flying around. I like the close quarter combat on the D-line. I think it's a passion of mine. So,
You're good at it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're definitely good at it.
Talking about tight ends, was there any tight ends that you watched over the years in your football family that you kind of take your style to, or kind of someone you emulated somewhere along those lines?
So Dallas Clark growing up,
He was pretty good.
was a big fan of him.
He was
but
pretty good.
Mr. No Gloves.
Facts.
Obviously Gronk. I looked for guys that, enjoy being in the trenches though. So like in today's game, I'm a big fan of George Kittle, because he'll take the ball when you give it to him, but other than that, he
loves to block.
He's looking out for his teammates all day, and that's what I do. I'm block first. Give me the ball. I can make plays if you need me to, but I'm trying to get these other guys, the glory.
So tell us about playing football in Europe. How was that experience?
Oh, I highly recommend it to anybody that wants to play past college, or even after high school, if you get an opportunity, if you're good enough to go over there. I played an All-American game after my senior year college. Got hit up by some teams overseas. Kind of made the decision to go to Eastern Europe. Was based in Serbia. So we played all along Eastern Europe. I played pretty much every position that I could. We didn't have that much depth, and the competitive league we played in over there was actually pretty cool. But those guys over there, they took care of us. If we went into town, we had a team translator, we had a chauffeur, I guess you can call it. We didn't have to pay for anything. You had to play in a game to get paid. So that was make sure you're healthy type thing. But yeah, it was a great time.
Scott, anything you want to ask your teammate?
Obviously, like, one of them is present. I'm not going to spoil the rest of the lineup. But from looking at the Vegas division as a whole, we'll call it the Nevada division for right now.
Okay.
What are the what are some of the areas you've seen most improved on, like from the opposing offenses? And then who's your favorite, and then who's your least favorite line to go against?
So obviously my favorite line to go against is Sick With It. I don't think there's another line that's ever going to be like that. I know I missed the game against Alliance that was supposedly at a big line to go against. That could have been fun. I doubt it would have been, but anyway. So, so
they were chippy for the first half.
Yeah, no, I actually liked what I saw. I wish I would have been at that game. But overall, I think the run game is getting pretty good. So like the Alienators, they couldn't do much against us, but I watched their films. They have something good going there. I know they're what in the spring, another team in the spring.
They went like everybody begged them not to do. They completely went in 1,000 different directions.
No, that's unfortunate because
like they had some good momentum, like you were saying, especially the line was putting it together. But hopefully, like certain chunks land in certain places. But
I got you.
It kind of seems like it might have been a recruiting spree for a certain team. But I'm not hating.
Well, I would like for them to come back together during fall brawl. That's for sure, because they were fun to watch. Yeah. Nick, any questions for Chris?
Oh yeah, I do. So on the other side of things, who is your favorite teammate to play with on your side of the defense there?
On the defense, that's a great question.
That's a great question.
It's an obvious answer though, AJ.
You're not wrong.
That's one of the reasons I went there.
So I'm a huge fan of him, man.
The motor.
He
nonstop
motor, very just relentless, and still has so much room to improve. And the best thing about him is he takes coaching. Like if I see something I can improve with his game real quick, he'll actually listen. Like, right. And he's a super humble guy. People don't see that because they see how he is on the field. That's pretty much how the whole Insomniacs team is. Like you got something to say, they will listen. They will listen, especially if you have.
It's different in between the hashes. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Like it's a different switch that gets hit. And like you're another one of those prime examples of what the Insomniacs means and why a lot of people are reaching out during this off season to try and come to our tree outs and to our workouts and stuff like that, because like there's people like you there. You're a super hardworking guy, like very respectable person. You're a great father. You're a great husband. Like you're somebody that people can enjoy having their kids around. People can enjoy having their kids around your kids because they know they were raised properly. You're one of the people that I think exemplifies the Insomniac culture, and I just want to say I appreciate it.
I appreciate that.
It's awesome.
That means a lot. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
So, born and raised in Westport, or born in Westport, New York. For those that are not familiar with New York, what area of New York is that in?
So it's the Army base up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I grew my first 3 years I spent in Croton, which is an hour away from West Point. It's like southeast-ish, hour away from New York City. So I didn't spend too much time there, but I go back when I can.
All right. So if you can tell our viewers, explain the difference between playing in Europe, playing indoor football, and playing A7FL. If you can give our viewers the difference of what that feels like, do so.
Okay, so in Europe, 11 on 11, it was a growing thing out there when I was there. So now the skill level over there is improving even more. I would say that A7FL and indoor football are very similar, very, very similar. So that's so I got to play both sides of the ball when I did indoor football. So that's actually the main reason I made the team, because I was one of the only guys to go to a small school that showed up to training camp, but they would stop practice just for me to put on the offensive jersey halfway through and get my reps on that. So they called me like the Swiss Army knife. So I can bring a lot of knowledge to especially the defense side of the ball, how small errors can turn into big plays, and that's exactly how the A7FL is. 7 people have to do their job. Mm-hmm. It's not 11 on 11 where one guy messes up, but we got a baller at running back that made that guy miss and go. You mess up, it's a failed play.
Yep.
All right, one more question from Scott and one more question from Nick.
What what do you think your signature move is? And then on the tail end of that, what is one move you just won't use?
A move I just won't use?
Yeah, like most D linemen, like in a game situation, like I have one that like for some reason my feet won't work. I try not to say it out loud. No, because like I will try it every once in a while and I'll get put on my ass for it. But you got to try shit every once in a while. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, man, sometimes my feet just don't work. But so what's your favorite move? Like my coming in, we can't use a swim move in most flag leagues.
Right.
So like being able to use the threat of that swim move on an inside jump was my favorite.
Right.
So I was just wondering what your angle was.
So I have an altered swim move. It's very low, very tight to the shoulder. I get away with that a lot, especially using my off long arm to set it up. I have a nice little arm drag that I can pull on some people. Every once in a while when they try to, bring the fight to me, it doesn't go well for them. And then I will never spin in my life. I think I'm just too big for that. I'm not like Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa. This is just not me. I'm not going to spin, but I'm all about the hand fighting. I'll bull rush when I need to, and I know I can bull rush almost anybody. I'm not trying to get, you got to pace yourself. So you got to be smart down there in the trenches.
Definitely. Yeah, I don't like the spin move either. I don't like it.
Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, so my question would be, what would you have to say to the flag community that are thinking about coming and switching over to the A7FL?
Good question.
Just give it a shot. I don't even really want to go back to flag. This brought the passion in football back to me. I was getting kind of, complacent in flag. The competition it's kind of watered down, I would say, here in Vegas. It's very top heavy. So I would really only, plus work, but I would only show up to the games that I knew the other teams were going to be competitive. So A7FL, it's just a lot more exciting, and you really got to show up and be ready to play. So give it a shot. You never know where it's going to take you either.
All right, Chris, this is the chance to promote yourself and give shout outs, whatever you feel like doing. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
All right, real quick, shout out to my wife for giving me the permission to show up. She's watching all three kids back home. Shout out to my dad. He shows up to every game, no matter what it is. If it's flag, doesn't matter. If you can't show up, he'll find a way to stream something or get updates. So love that guy. My three kids, I love them to death. It's hard to be away from them. So when I do get to play football, it's, I'm there, blow out some steam, then I'm going straight back home to my kids. And then my brother Travis, who may or may not make an appearance one day in A7FL.
Man,
we'll see.
Look, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand.
Well, we'll see.
Y'all don't understand.
Well, obviously, he is getting a lot of love from his teammates in the YouTube feed, and we appreciate you guys for chiming in. You can catch him on the field with the Wolfpack this season as the Insomniacs look to try and repeat their national title, but you can catch him on the field on defense, offense. Doesn't matter. Whatever they ask him to do, he just goes there and play. Chris Cunningham, we appreciate the time. Door is always open, my friend. Thank you for coming in.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for having me, guys. Take care.
All right, as we get ready for our next guest, where, again, Scotty kind of mentioned it, this show is definitely dedicated to the trenches, to the offensive line. And obviously, like I said, Cunningham's been getting a lot of love from his fellow teammates.
Real quick, Nick, speaking of O-line, speaking of the trenches, you guys notoriously run a very unorthodox style of offense.
Yes.
And it's in all appreciation of that. And it's something I always try and dig out of people, especially from different divisions, how they see their division shaping up and what type of personality or characteristics their division's going to take. And I think you're the perfect person to kind of jump on this. I feel like Florida has a very distinct athletic edge on people as far as that the break in and out of a full stop is bananas in that state for some reason. But I was just wondering if there's any other factors that go into how you guys are lining up stylistically, or if this is just you guys are winging it and knowing you guys have feeling like you guys are better athletes.
And not to mention your guys' speed is absolutely ridiculous out there.
Logo Davis is a freak.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started on him.
Oh wait, hold on. Did they really fucking leave?
What?
Are they going back to the nightclub? Because it's a lot of shit going on.
Oh, you heard about the rumors, huh?
The rumor mill is popping.
I mean, if you have inside information,
I want to know.
We will gladly. We're all ears.
Got inside information for sure.
Are you
I
willing
can cut
to
that
share?
right now. You could just stop worrying about that. Oh, I guess you would worry about it now because I mean, Ford is these guys. Everybody likes to stir the pot. So
Everybody likes to stir the pot.
But to answer your question about our style of play here in Florida, so you guys got a big flag community. Pretty much, most of our players came from either flag football or semi-pro. They played with each other here and there, So they have built chemistry over the years of how many ever years they've done that.
That definitely showed.
It's just chemistry between the guys, especially I know you guys seen it in the championship game. Logo Davis and Bagway, they've been playing with each other for years.
And Tyree too.
It's probably, I wouldn't say they're winging it. They just have such good chemistry that they know what they're doing. So,
that makes
just
a lot
being
of sense.
able to know what they're doing, and they know what works for them, and but the style is like more like a wildcat West Coast offense with the pitches and laterals and double passes and some crazy stuff that you really do see in flag. So it's just built off how they play, their style of play, and obviously it got them to the championship. So they keep balling, bro.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So our next guest is ready, and I guess we can call the rest of the show the Oos Hour because we got a whole bunch of Oos representation on the rest of the show. But joining us first, a man who is a very humble man, but he plays with tremendous ferociousness on the field. But you can catch him in the trenches for Las Vegas Liquid, and he is dressed to the nines, looking dapper for this interview. But the big Oos in the house, Siah Sa'o in the building. Oos, what's going on, sir? How are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Man, lovely.
So you've never done interviews.
Never.
So what made you decide to just say, you know what, let me come on the show? What give us that story?
First impressions, babe. First impressions. It's very important to always sell your character, sell your pitch, sell your brand. Again, I was just offered the opportunity to be here, represent myself, my team, my family as best I can. So I'm excited.
Well, I mean, your story is very quite fascinating. So, originally from San Diego,
Yes.
and then obviously all leads up to you eventually playing big time college football in the SEC as a Vanderbilt Commodore. So, tell us that story about how that happened and going through you being recruited. What schools did it come down to before you eventually chose Vanderbilt?
So I started playing football in high school. Junior, senior year was the years I took off. I got my first couple offers junior year. It wasn't until senior year it amped up. And prior to signing to Vanderbilt, it was between Arizona and Vanderbilt. And I was leaning towards Arizona huge. I didn't take a visit there. Sometimes I always ponder on it. I wonder because, it's always shoulda, coulda, woulda. But I don't regret the decision I made. I took a visit to Vanderbilt prior to signing, and I fell in love with it. See, the thing about Vanderbilt is it's the next 40 years, not the next 4. And so I'm glad I set myself up.
I was going to say, that's one of the things, it's a little unrelated, but kind of is. Like, in my little bit of travels, I always try to stop at, like, the oldest university in whatever city, especially, like, in like the older parts of the country, and like to see that, to just be around that environment for that long, to absorb that type of education and like the history, just like the energy and essentially the energy coming out of that building in those spaces is incredible. Like that had to have been a crazy experience for you.
Yeah, it was very fun. A lot of people have their inside jokes about Vanderbilt when it comes to athletics, but
actually they have one of the top college baseball programs in the country,
Yeah.
and they make yearly trips to Omaha in the College World Series. It seems like do not be fooled on the Commodores baseball program. It is legit.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I always tell people I'm a Pac-12 kid at heart, but man, do I miss that environment. That's a one-of-a-kind culture. That's one tempo, one speed. I'm privileged to have played there. I had a lot of time up there. I enjoy it. I miss it, man. It was a great experience. It's a different type of ball out there.
Well, I mean, yeah, playing in the, I mean, just share your experiences playing in Tuscaloosa and playing in Athens between the hedges and playing in the swamp in Gainesville and Leland Stadium with 107,000. I mean, just as a young man playing in those atmospheres, just what kind of experience you take from that?
It's a one-of-a-kind experience, and I say that from experience, of course, but I'll never forget when we went to Tennessee, because Tennessee's our rivals. So Vanderbilt and Tennessee, they face off every year, no matter what sport. The years I went there, I was there for 3.5 years. We ran the state, so to say. So we beat every Tennessee team throughout my entire tenure there. And it was a fun run. Every time we went to Neyland Stadium, it was crazy. There's a lot of stories there.
Those fans are different.
It's a different.
Those fans are
different. Different environment. We'll keep it PG, but it was different.
How do you handle?
I need that conversation afterwards.
How do you handle playing in front of 100,000? Because as we know, Knoxville has. I mean,
Yeah.
Leland Stadium is very, very big. Seats over 100,000. Like how do you keep your composure playing in front of 100,000 people on? When CBS had the SEC network before they lost it. But I mean, just talk about that real quick.
Well, it starts at practice. Okay, I always tell people, especially because I train some students, some youth out here, and they're they try to get prepared for the big scene. I always tell them it starts at practice. When you can treat the little things like the big things, when you get to the big stage, you never have to worry about it. My first time in front of 100,000 plus, man, I almost got off. I almost stood up in the middle of the play and just walked away. It was so scary. It was a scary experience.
Man,
but
look, I always imagined it would be like any given Sunday. I would throw up in the huddle. Like,
but you get accustomed.
matter,
You get accustomed to it. Over time, it just becomes like an audition in the beginning. But when you get used to it, you get used to the tempo and what you're playing for. It's a blessing, man. One of my favorite I'll never forget. One of my favorite stadiums to play in was Florida. Actually, I love Tennessee, but playing in the swamp was a different type of culture out there.
Being one of the very few, or not very few, but being one of the few A7FL players to have reached such a level like at that young age, can you let the viewers know, like, because we do have young kids that maybe haven't got, this is what, to me, what A7 is about the second chance guy. Like, this is about the guy who didn't necessarily get the shot or he fucked the shot off, whether it be a woman, a kid, a job, whatever circumstance may have taken you out of it. If you feel like you have a shot, this is the place to do it.
Oh yeah.
What can you tell these people that are looking to go to college if they have eligibility left, looking to make it to that next level? What type of preparation does it really take outside of the branding, outside of the internet presence and cleaning up your social? What type of work does it take?
It's willpower. It's the want to. So it's the process. A lot of people don't understand. They can't go through the process, right? They want what's at the end of everything. They want the result. But prior to getting to the result, you got to go through it. I always say you grow through what you go through. And so I say that because it's crucial to understand that you're going to be faced with adversity, right? So like me, I'll give you guys a quick insight. I treat the A7FL as an audition for me to hopefully, right, potentially make it to the next level. I played at that level. It's great. It's fun. I appreciate the props and all. But again, I'm a humble soul. And I mean that at the most humble way I can say it, because there were some things I could have did better in my collegiate career. If I didn't cut myself short, right? I could have been here, I could have played there, but I fell short in a lot of aspects outside of school, right? Got into a couple things academically or just stuff like that. So I treat the A7FL as a stepping stool to get me there, right? The work that it takes, you can't treat this like it's a regular league. There's some people in here that are really hungry to go play, and then there's some people that it shows. They're just here to be a part of something. They're here to belong. And again, I'm not knocking anybody and what they do and what they're here for, but essentially for the people like myself, and there's a few I can name that are looking to take this to the next level, you got to treat the small things like the big things, and I say it as best as I can, because this is an audition. You never know who's in those stands, you never know who's watching, and you never know who's on the podcast.
Absolutely.
So,
What you got for him, Nick? Go ahead.
So what do you think you can improve on to help get you to that next level?
well, my biggest challenge right now is getting in shape, okay? So I was at my peak 3 years ago. I'm 25 years old. I graduated college 2 years ago, but prior to that, I was at my peak shape. Right now, I struggle a bit. You know, again, I blame being Samoan and how much we eat. You know, that's just a little joke I love to tell everybody. But aside from that, right, my biggest thing that I think I can improve myself on, aside from IQ of the game, is just getting myself in tip-top shape. I always tell people it's hard. When you come from a regiment and you're regimented, it's hard to get back in that flow of things. So I can prepare myself that way, just getting back in shape, being consistent, you know, the usual.
Well, I mean, given at the shape that you are, thick boys ain't supposed to be as athletic as you are, making one-handed catches and going through defenders. Because I mean, if you have not seen this man play, this man has made some plays, but also is a tremendous, fantastic teammate. Which again, go to the archives, go to a7fl.tv and watch him pass, stick with the games, and just watch this man athleticism of just how noble he is using his feet on the field. So don't let the big size fool you. But real quickly, talk about real quickly inspiration that is your mom and your wife.
Yeah. So my mom, my wife, my kids, those are my main supporters. My entire family, my culture, they know. Everybody understands how we are. We pride ourselves on family. This is our hierarchy that we abide by, right? It's God, family, all else falls in place. And so we live by those three mottos. And I say my mom and my girl and my kids because those are my main supporters. My girl and my kids because that's my family away from family. That's my legacy that I'm going to leave behind. You know, God willing, when that day comes. But they're everything to me. Everything I do, when I go to play, when I'm away, when I'm doing work, they're always on my mind. My mom, just because I'm a mama's boy. A lot of us, I always tell everybody, we only get one set of parents. So no matter what hand we're dealt, honor them, obey them, and I promise you, they'll flourish. They'll live long. So
the doors of the church are open. Is there one?
Man. Amen.
Church. Nick, you got something else for him?
No, I'm good, man.
Scotty?
How do we fix the fact that it seems in A7 we are seeing a rampant amount of catch blocking?
Yeah. So
how do we go about trying to fix it? And as a D lineman, I hope y'all don't fix it. But for the league's sake, how do we go about fixing it? Because it's a big thing that messes up a lot of plays in the backfield. Like we have super athletic running backs, but we're having guys that are trying to just kind of catch people instead of getting off the block.
Yeah.
And it's like we're pass blocking on every play. For people who don't understand what a catch block is you're waiting for the D lineman to get to you,
with you. Yeah.
and then you're just making sure he doesn't get to the quarterback. But what it does is you end up getting pushed into a running lane, or you end up tripping somebody up, or somebody pulling, or whatever the case may be, you're getting in the way.
Yeah.
And it just seems that no matter how much we talked about it, how much we brought it up, I was wondering if you guys see the same thing how you're going to adjust to it.
So my biggest thing, because I always, I preach to my team, I preach to my coach about it. If we're being honest, right, a lot of that comes from coaching, that comes from history and experience of playing ball. And again, we're not knocking anybody. So you can tell who's had that type of coaching, who's had that experience, and who hasn't. So for those who haven't, because it's a lot in the league, and I see it all the time, it's fundamentals. Now, granted, where A7 is going in Nevada, you know, we don't have that structure of true coaching, a position coach. We don't have that just yet. So I'm not going to blame it and say, oh, we need it. You know, it needs to be coaching. If it's this serious for you, right? And I always tell everybody, you need to teach yourself, or you need to learn and lean on somebody who's better than you in that aspect, and you can learn from them.
Right.
So my thing, you know, I always, just from my experience alone, playing with people, being at football camps, just being with everybody, I always share the knowledge I have when it comes to that craft and that position. And you forget I'm a defensive lineman too, so I love when the first thing I see is low hands, open chest. That's open field for us.
I tell these guys all the time, if you give them your chest, it's over with.
Yeah.
Your job, and you have by far, in my opinion, the best push-pull in the league. Sorry, Dylan Graham. I know we were giving you props for yours, but his is the best. So with that push-pull, is it holding because we don't have pads? Based on the rules, it's not holding, right? Because you're allowed, as long as they're not trying to break away and you're continuing that movement, you can pull them down to the ground as if they're not strong enough to fight that motion.
Since I'm a football head, right? Let me fix the terminology.
Okay, thank you.
I wouldn't say pull down to the ground.
Up.
No, it's okay. I wouldn't say pull down to the ground because you have those people in the comments that are going to be.
They'll be on my bumper for that.
They'll be a little anal.
You're right.
You know how it is. They'll be a little anal with how you say it and what you say.
Actually, you got a compliment. You did.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you. Yes.
Me.
So what I'm saying is, instead of pulling to the ground, we shed away, down and away. So we cancel gap with body and body. So
Okay.
for example, when I push pull, I always strike them. Initially coming out the stance, I strike them, extend. Once I have that extension and I can see where the back is or if the play declared, I'll cancel the gap with their body while I'm fitting my body in another gap. So
Okay.
in motion, right, when the play snap, it all looks like it's holding, but technically it's like the sled work. Again, it goes
Right,
back
right,
to if
right.
you've ever been on a sled, if you've ever hit a sled, the first thing you do, you extend, you pop, you release.
Yep.
So yeah. So
Okay. Yeah, no, that's perfect. And this is the type of thing I want to start getting into more. Like, I think this is what we need as a league to develop these younger players. And like, finding out you're only 25, you got a lot of life to go in them legs, sir. So like, these are things that you can help a lot of these guys with. And with these older players that we have, like you said, and you being one of the better linemen in the league, getting on here and saying the ability to lean on somebody that might have a better skill set than you. They might not be a better player than you, but if they have a better developed skill set, that means they honed that edge over time. Maybe you should figure out how they honed that edge. And then you can just bump up that little bit extra. I appreciate you saying that.
The problem comes with pride. There's still a lot of pride in the league, right? We still have a lot of cats from different playing backgrounds. Until we can all kill that, I speak for the league as a whole, until we can all kill the egos and learn how to come together, for one thing. Because again, we can't be Vegas versus everybody if we can't even get along.
Yes,
you
sir.
know, so it's one of those. Now, I'm not saying
wrong.
we have to be best friends, but when it comes to the craft of the game, we got to learn how to play together with each other. It's not hard. It's just a pride thing. But
yes, sir.
Again, the doors of the church are open. Is there one? Come now. Nick, look like I had a question when I asked the Big Oos. Go ahead.
I was gonna go ahead and ask. So, how you said you played at Vanderbilt for 4 years?
yeah, from 16 to 20.
Okay, cool. And when you were, faced with the adversity there, and what was one of the things that you did to overcome your adversity when you had to play at such a high level of football?
Well, how I grew up, again, because I don't mean to offend nobody, but how I grew up was spiritual, right? So I always leaned on my religion, on my faith, whenever I didn't understand or I didn't know much. But for those who may not have grown up like that, what I did was I always looked at a positive example in my position or somebody who's at a higher title. So if I didn't trust nobody in my position group, I would always look at my position coach and go from there and build off of that, because it's essential who speaks into our lives. It's essential who speaks to us.
Amen.
So I wouldn't just listen to somebody who is a doctor, but they just know knowledge of the game from watching the game, but they've never played the game and never done the craft. I would never listen to somebody like that, because that's like a football player coming into a doctor's office and telling them what to do because I played that game.
Right.
Scalpel.
So scalpel, yeah. But yeah, that's my biggest thing. I leaned on my faith, or again, you have to have a trusted community around you. It matters who's around us and who's with you and who you guys are investing your time into. That's why what we have at Sick With It, again, I love everybody who I play against and whatnot. What we have at Sick With It, we're breeding that right now. We're breeding just a foundation and a franchise within the program.
Now, this question is not from me. This question is actually from Chris Vera, who's on assignment, but he wants to ask, how do you like the comparison between you playing in college in the SEC and A7?
It's one of a kind in the SEC. I always tell people, I know I keep saying the redundant thing, but A7 to me, this is, and I'm going to be completely honest with the podcast and with myself. I view A7 as almost like again, I said earlier, like an audition. There's not many people who've come from that type of tier football. I don't mean to say it like that, but who's come from that top tier down here to play. A lot of people, they'll probably look at it like, oh, he's a bounce back, referring to me.
Right.
But what I look at it as is an opportunity, because I played at that level, so I can come and share the knowledge with people who's never played at that level to get to that level. So the comparison, it's not 11-man ball. It's I believe Chris said it best. You're only as good as your weakest link. So it's 7-man football. It's crucial that everybody does their job. So if somebody gets knocked out the gap and the backer can't cover, there we go. We're exposed. We're getting gashed up the hole. So, again, you're only as strong as your weakest link. And the comparison, to me, there really is no comparison, because when it comes to 11-man ball versus 7-man ball, it's a different type of context. It really is, if we had all night to break it down. So,
well, we might have to have you back on to break that down a little bit more, because one thing we do want to highlight is how the skill set can transition to the next level.
Yeah.
Not just for our players' sake, but also to these guys at the upper tier, at the next level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so we can explain to these coaches, this is what we're doing. This is what we're working on. These are what these kids are are putting the work into.
Yeah.
And yes, we don't have pads on.
Yeah.
We don't have helmets on. But these are the skills that are going to transition into helping your organization get better, win that championship, get that extra sponsor, and essentially bump up higher yourself.
That's the best way you can say it. I agree. The transition, right? If you can take it from here to the next level, that's all they're looking for. But that's also what we breed. And that's a good look on Nevada. It's a good look on A7. And we can all prosper from it.
Yeah, so Nick, we're gonna go ahead and book him again so we can break this down. And if we could get like an all, if we could have like, or no, if we could have like a all, like get him and Matt Kenny and Ooze back in here and like just break down some offensive line film,
like being on
do
the
a film study,
like being on the
if we
Fox
could-
field and actually demonstrating how you
other
guys
side
block.
of the ball film study.
Yeah,
We could do it
should do
once a
that.
month. Or one episode a month, do an A7FL film study. We pick a position and just break down random film from across the league from the previous season. Boom.
Nice.
Now, Big Ooze,
like
this
it.
now Big Ooze, this is from one of your rivals in the league, but Scotty just basically said that he wants you to come help be a part of his coaching staff at Western High.
At the high school, yeah.
Yes. So
I'd love to. Right now, I'm just in a position where just outside of school, right, outside of work, just got to find a way to make time. My problem right now is time. I spoke with Scott already because I'm at Desert Pines. For those who don't know, I'm I'm a teacher over there, and then I was coaching in the spring, and then I had an opportunity with the arena team here, and then we went from there, and so now I'm right back into the schooling. I never left schooling, but so I'm just trying to find time to make for coaching.
So real quickly, let's talk about this upcoming season for Sick With It. As you guys have aspirations to win a championship of your own, what will it take for you guys to try to get to that next level, to try to be at the 11th Insomniacs, if there's a possibility for that to happen? What do you think has to happen for you guys to get over that to get to that next level?
Yeah, camaraderie. I say that with everything in me, camaraderie. We gotta it's known. It's seen on film, right? We gotta come together. That's our biggest thing. As soon as we can come together, oh man, we're gonna flourish. I know we are, and I'm not just being biased because I play for the team, but I think we've all seen teams like our team in the position we're in currently, and we've seen them flourish and make way. And so I always preach camaraderie, being together. Again, just getting on the same accord. Like I said, we just have different. It's just hard right now, right? We have different people from different playing backgrounds, different experiences. But one thing we always preach is as soon as we can get on the same page, we're good. You know what I mean? That's what I can say for right now.
One more question from Scott and one more question from Nick.
If you could make one adjustment to the rule set of A7, what would it be?
New referees, man. We gotta cycle through the refs. No, that's just me playing. Let me see. Allow us to play. It's just like 11-man ball. So if I'm getting a whistle blown when I'm taking a guy 30 yards out the game, when that's the nature of the game and that's the nature of my position, I shouldn't have to. Worry about that.
I shouldn't be penalized for being too good.
For just being
Better.
a guy at my craft.
Understood. I like it.
Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, so I got some guys down here in the Florida division, who come from a high level as well. What gives let me think about this, how I'm going to ask this. What drives you to continue to play other than, like you said, it's an audition, it's an audition.
Yeah.
Is there more to it than just an audition?
Yeah, from my personal experience, it's when I cut corners when I was still an undergraduate. That's my personal feud. That's my motive. Is if I just took these things serious, these practices more serious, I would have been here. That would have gave me the edge above more players, just stuff like that. I always tell people it's an audition, yeah, but for myself, it's writing where I went wrong. And sometimes while you have an opportunity to do it, I'm going to take it. And so not many people are able to continue to play. So for the people in Florida, I'm sure they can attest, for those who've come from that level, the fact that we're still able to wake up and still perform and still play, not many people get that chance to do it. I'm going to take it until I can't do it anymore. And if I can get somewhere from there, I'll get somewhere. But I'm pretty content with my career, my collegiate career. I've the degrees that come from it, the networks I've built, and then again, just the experience and the people I get to meet along the way.
All right, Big Goose, here's your chance to promote yourself, promote your brand, shout outs.
And can you please properly pronounce your name for everybody and for us up in the booth? I got to start asking people to do this because I I don't even try pronouncing half of y'all shit.
Well, I don't mind Sa'o. You know, it's a compliment for within the Polynesian community, but the proper way is Sa'o.
Sa'o.
So
Sa'o.
Josiah Sa'o. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the proper way to announce it. But,
Siah Sa'o. Okay.
So quick shout outs. I thank God for the opportunity first and foremost. Shout out to the podcast for allowing me on here. For Sick With It, my team, you know, got to represent my team, myself, my brand, and then my family, of course, my family in California and my family at home, my girl, my kids, allowing me to be here because I couldn't be here if nobody's watching the kids, right? No, but just all jokes aside, I'm thankful for my support system and for everybody here.
Well, you can catch the Big Oos on Sick With It as they will open up the 10th anniversary season. They will open up with the first game of the year against the Pit Bosses. Oos, the floor is always open. We appreciate the time. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, brother. Thank
all
you,
the
guys.
best and good health this upcoming season.
Likewise. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Well, as the Oos hour continues, as the other guest is making his way. So, as we come towards the 10th anniversary season of the ASNFL, if you want to sign up and play this upcoming season, go to asnfl.com/players, and that will give you all the information on if you want to register and play in the upcoming 10th anniversary season of the ASNFL. And also for season ticket holders, you can start getting tickets right now, and once you do get that, you can also get a nice commemorative 10th anniversary t-shirt, which all the information is also on asnfl.com. So again, if you want to register to play this upcoming season, asnfl.com/players, and go to asnfl.com in regards to season tickets and your chance to get yourself a 10th anniversary t-shirt for the upcoming 10th anniversary season, which again starts on March the 24th. Now, Nick, let me ask you this question. If there's one team to look out for in Florida that no one's really talking about, who might that team be?
Oh, let me give a shout out to the O-Town Orange. So, they played a couple preseason games. We don't really broadcast that too much because it's just, the guys getting scrimmages together against the other teams, and they haven't been losing. So they've been putting on. I've been to a couple of their games. They're very well organized. They're counting, doing jumping jacks, stretching, got good plays lined up there. And when they play, it looks as organized as it gets. So when they're playing, I can see them as a good contender for this division. I could see them a good contender for the league. They added a lot of players since last year, and they actually got a lot better. So I would look out for the O-Town Orange. And yeah. O-Town Orange, they're doing their thing.
All right. Well, which, by the way, we will highlight the Florida division and all the other divisions as we are coming up across the 10th anniversary season, which once again starts on March the 24th. Of course, we've got a new team coming in with the Indianapolis High Octane. No, I don't think he was in the movie Super Troopers. I don't think so. But nonetheless, joining us, our next guest, of course, you can see him with him and Big Kenny Mack on that ferocious offensive line of the Wolfpack, the defending champions, the Insomniacs. The one now, originally, I thought his nickname was Dr. Oos, but we were corrected. It's the Oos, but like I said, the Oos hour continues as Big West is in the house. Oos, how are you, sir? How are you?
Hey, good to be here.
So again, for our viewers and also for us, give us once again the correct pronunciation of your last name so we don't botch that.
It's just like Siah Sa'o. Mine is Wesley Mauia. So you can go as Mauia.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So I see that you're from the same roots as I am, from the Bay Area.
Yes.
You specifically from the town business, Oakland, California. What part of the town did you live in?
East Oakland. Grew up in East Oakland.
Shit.
Well, obviously you can tell some stories about East Oakland.
It's a lot.
So tell us about the transition from the town to Vegas.
Oh man. Yeah. I'm from a family of 7. So with the 2 oldest being gone, my mom decided to move to Stockton because it was getting too ghetto for us, is what they say.
That's a wild for anybody who hasn't been to California. It's a wild statement to say you're moving to Stockton to get away from the violence.
Just to get away from the
Man,
streets.
shout out to the Diaz brothers.
You know, Diaz
Stockton
brothers.
slap.
Yep, Stockton slap.
And actually, the Stockton Nuts, the minor league team in low A ball in Stockton. No, not the Stockton Ports. I'm sorry. That's the Modesto
Ports.
Nuts. I'm sorry. Got the wrong teams mixed up. So, tell us about your football background news.
Oh man. After high school, I got a scholarship to USC.
Oh,
I was going to sign with them, but I ended up something went wrong with the SAT scores to where I ended up taking it late. So they ended up giving the scholarship to Keith Rivers. I don't know if you guys heard of Keith Rivers, the linebacker for USC.
Oh, yeah.
So they ended up giving him and then the second team was Fresno State.
the Bulldogs.
The Bulldogs, yeah. They were really heavy on me, and they didn't come on campus on time, so Montana State was there.
The Grizzlies.
Bobcats.
Oh, Bobcats, okay.
Yeah, they were on there looking for other recruits, like other players that we had that was available, and they said I was still around. They said, oh, man, I'm going to take a shot at this guy. So they came with the full ride, and I just talked with Coach and just took it.
So what was that like playing in Division II, which is obviously a lot different from Division I? Talk about that real quick.
Well, back then, Montana State is Division I.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah, they were a Western Conference, I think. I'm not sure. Forgot. Oh, no. Sorry, Big Sky Conference.
Big Sky, yes,
Big
with
Sky.
UC Davis and Sacramento State, yes.
Sacramento,
yes.
Portland. Yep. It was pretty cold.
I was going to say, how'd you like the weather up there? That is not how California is.
Man, it was the craziest experience I've ever had. Being in college, coming from Stockton, it's a little cold in the, on that north side, but
Not Montana cold.
not Montana cold, man. Whew.
Even white people don't like that cold.
Now,
Yeah.
did you guys get to experience playoff football? Because I know in that particular concept, they do playoff football, and they try to. Did you get to experience that? And if you did, what was that like?
Oh, it was, man, we had to keep moving when on the sideline. If you're not on the field, you have to keep moving to stay warm. I mean, the lowest we played, I think it was negative 30s. Yeah, it was snowing, raining, and windy at the same time. Yeah.
Damn.
I'm gonna assume that
I love football.
I'm going
and
to
all,
assume that there were no heaters on the sideline. Is that a fair assessment?
We had them pocket
but the hand warmers.
hand warmers.
Hey, but
yeah.
once it gets so cold, I be outside, bro. I really outside. Those hand warmers, when it gets too cold, they don't even work.
Yeah, they don't.
They really don't. They just freeze up on you because it's just a chemical. It's like a little magnesium reaction like that. That shit get too cold. That shit don't work.
Any questions, Chris? I'm sorry, Nick. I'm sorry, Nick.
Chris, wow.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I got a question.
He's got hair.
How much can you bench, bro? Because you look like you could lift a fridge by yourself.
Man, I don't really bench that much.
He
really.
can pick up 3
No?
pigs.
5.
He can
bro.
pick up. He said 5. Yeah, no. But, hey,
No,
look.
but seriously,
No, I've been
what
to
do
the
you-
poly cookouts, bro. Yeah, no.
Nah,
What do you do to keep yourself conditioned for the league?
Man, well, every year, man, like Sa'o said, as we get older, we like food. We eat a lot, so man, we get bigger and heavier. I mean, I start off as a running back. Yeah.
That would
Running,
be.
yeah.
I would not
a
wanna
minute.
tackle you.
All high school running
Whoa.
back, and then I went to linebacker, and then I played both sides, running back and
Y'all
linebacker.
not built the same.
No.
Y'all shouldn't be that big and that fast. Both of y'all sitting in here.
Yeah, I was linebacker.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, linebacker. I was playing at 275.
Jesus.
Yeah, but the benching, the most was the 485.
That's a lot.
Yeah. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
So explain the transition of going from playing in college football to eventually finding A7. What made you want to play A7, and what do you like about A7?
Well, man, just like Chris was saying earlier, there's a bunch of us flag football players. For me, it's just cardio. I look at it as, something to have fun, you can still do, stay in somewhat shape. Well, oval's not a shape, but yeah, just something fun to do, man. Every Sunday you look forward to something like that. Besides being busy at work, it's a fun league. I like it. I like the physicality of it.
What do you find more taxing, the run blocking or pass blocking? Because you guys have very extended plays. Like even like the run plays, like RTC doesn't go down fast, bowling ball don't go down fast,
And now
Juice don't go down fast. Everybody else is always looking for a cutback. You guys pitch the ball, so you can't stop blocking. Like once they get past you, you're still blocking downfield. Like, and then in the pass blocking, Scooter's so hard to take down. Like, it's almost pointless for some teams to rush him because their DNs literally can't bring him down, even if they get to him. So, like, what's more taxing for you guys?
Us is running. We like the running a lot. Either left side or right side. And,
Is that the call?
Yep. Kenny Mack said dog food. Whereas in the front of us is I feel bad for you.
Nick, go
Understood.
ahead. If you have a question.
All right, yeah. So, you said how long did you play in college for?
I did.
You had a full ride.
Yeah, I had a full ride. I did 2.5 years in Montana State, and then I finished up at Western New Mexico, which is a D2.
Yeah. How did you like that experience? And then, being able to take what you learned from that and bringing it to the A7FL.
There's a lot of knowledge of football. Being able to play both sides of the ball and just knowing like what you expect and who do you have in front of you, and just dominate pretty much. That's pretty much it.
What do you think is a bigger edge up? Like if for a younger player kind of struggling to play O-line, we tend to have a lot of bigger guys, especially in the Nevada division. We struggle with having bigger guys that don't know how to play football or smaller guys that rely heavily on technique. But with a younger, bigger guy, would you focus more on being able to read what the defense is doing compared to like schematic, like the ability to read schematically, or like a hand-to-hand technique?
Well, to be honest, I use fullback, running back blocking as, part of the O-line. And when I'm blocking, I look at whoever's lining up, whether it's a fast guy, low speed, or a power, like Chris and Sa'o. Like, you got to figure out, who's in front of you at all times, when you're blocking, and it's all hands and feet. If you don't have feet, yeah,
That's what I look for. If I find a O lineman that crosses his feet, it's over with.
Yeah.
Now, Oos, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Do you sometimes find yourself in awe when you're lined up next to Big Kenny Mac and you watch him do what he does? Do you find yourself in awe sometimes? You're just like, how does he do it?
Man, I love playing with Kenny Mack, man. That dude is an amazing player, man, and coolest dude you ever find on the field. It's just fun. He makes everything fun. Like one of the games, man, I don't know if you guys pay attention, but this guy was blocking backwards with no shoes on.
Oh, we catch the no
Oh,
shoes
yeah,
all the
the
time.
no shoes all the time.
We
Like,
catch the no shoes for sure.
That to me, it makes
makes it
football
fun.
a lot funner, man.
One thing you guys do a lot, and we talk about that other teams don't, is your communication. Both pre-snap, like in the huddle, you guys aren't just sitting there listening to the play. As soon as it's like there's a second huddle, as soon as Scooter calls the play, it's like you three turn, like the three linemen, they'll turn, talk for a second. You get to the line. There's more communication. Does that communication continue throughout the play, or is it once right before the ball is snapped, you guys know what your job is doing, and then it's all just shit talking from there?
Well, it all
Because we see you
depends.
guys talking, we just don't
Yeah.
know what you're saying.
It all depends if the run goes good and you see, Tate or Anderson, Wilkerson, score, then we're like, okay, everything's cool. But if we mess up, like, hey man, you're supposed to, we just talk like that,
It's good because I think communication is lacking a lot.
Big time.
You'll see a lot of these, especially it's always the lower tier teams too. You'll see their linemen come up like half the time they're looking at their own feet. There's no communication between the three of them, or let alone trying to read and figure out what the defense is doing or making any adjustments. Like, do you guys? It seems like the Insomniac way is to make people bend to your will, regardless of how long it takes. Are there adjustments made, or is it just simple adjustments to make an adjustment to your scheme? It's like all the adjustments are just minor adjustments. There's no scheme adjustments made mid-game.
Yeah, it's all minor stuff. Usually Mac just, let me know what the play is, and then, being so experienced in football, you gotta understand what the play call is and just run it. If we mess up, look for another, color to take advantage of. If you don't mess up, don't just stop in the middle of the play, because I did that a couple times, and Mac was looking at me like, bro, what are you doing, Oos? I'm like, but
we scored. It doesn't matter.
You see Anthony all the way down there celebrating. You see Tate doing backflips.
Nick, what you got for him?
All right, so throughout the league, I know you guys just had your fall brawl and everything, but throughout the league-wide, what would be a matchup that you are looking forward to the most?
I saw some teams in New York. I'm not sure the names. When you guys put on highlights on A7FL, I always see big boy running the ball. I kind of want to see those teams.
BIC kind of runs like a real. BIC is the one team I really want to play.
Yeah, BIC. Yeah. Nightcrawlers again if they're
the same.
If they're the same, yeah.
They're the same. I hope they are. Yeah. That's one of the things I did watch is their big men knew how to play football, and I feel like it was one of the few times where we faced that type of motor and skill set combined. Because usually in the league, it's one or the other. Like, I'm an all motor player. I don't have all the skill set that everybody else has out here. But
they don't have
but when these guys are putting it together, like outside of the night, would you say the Nightcrawlers were that best D-line you faced? Or do you No,
I think big ups to Sickwood. I think their D-line is a lot better than
Fall Brawl or last year spring?
Last year.
Yeah.
Or
this last season,
the championship game
with Amadawada and all that. Like, he was a big standout player from the season.
All right, now your quarterback has a request. He wants to hear about the story that you two guys went to go have Korean barbecue.
Oh man, this guy! I knew he was going to. Damn, school.
What happened?
Nothing. I just invited him to a Korean spot that I go to a lot. I even took my coworkers, my managers, anybody that comes in town. That's the place. It's called.
I was about to say, you gonna give up the spot's name?
It's called. Everybody pronounce it different, but it's Harrow.
Okay, yeah. Where's that one?
HWARRO. It's right off of Decatur and Spring Mountain.
Ooh, I'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. Scoot ate nothing but all rice, like 5 bowls of rice.
He just ate rice?
Nah, he had meat.
Like he's Yokozuna. Okay, got it. All right.
Panda.
All right, so answer me this question, News. The Insomniacs repeat as champions if they do what?
If we get Sa'o over. Chris agrees. Scoop agrees. Where do you go? Man, this guy. Nah, just
family.
Just the same team, same camaraderie. Like, I love this team, man. a lot of people I play with, and with the Powerhawks, especially with Chris, Q, Steve Dice.
Now, have you asked to be on offense and get in on at least one offensive play this upcoming season? Or
Oh man, Scoop knows. He knows I run the ball. Just whenever the opportunity, comes my way, hey, I just gotta take advantage.
So you said you played running back in your younger days. So when you were playing running back, what was your running style like, or who would you compare your running style to from somebody that you watched back in the day?
Mike Allstott, just straight forward.
Oh, the A Train,
One
of my favorites.
Hey,
yes, sir.
If you're in the way, man, I feel bad for my knees.
Can you imagine how big he would look with that neck roll?
Oos up the
Jesus
gut.
Christ.
I can hear Gene Tecker now. Oos up the gut. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
In high school, I used to get a lot of stingers. So, they had Coach had me wearing a neck roll one day, and it was
Big
just
as
like,
shit.
yeah.
Ain't no way.
I was like, bro, what is this? And I was just running.
Somebody need to get that kid's birth certificate.
What you got from Nick?
I am 12. So how much longer you think you got left in you then?
Not much longer, man. Getting to that age, not gonna say my age. But hey, as long as his feet moving, I'm still around.
You still feel good?
Yeah, 10 years of playing in the AFL. It's fortunate to still be able to do what I love.
Damn.
10 years in pads. That's a
That's a
long time to be doing it. But
AFL.
do make the comparison between A7 and AFL, because Chris earlier said that there's very similar traits. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I totally agree with Chris. It's very similar. 3-on-3. We got a linebacker, you got a fullback. And just the only difference between the two, I think, is there's a lot more. There's walls. There you go. There's walls that receivers runs into, or anybody catches it, and the arena walls is undefeated. Always undefeated.
Now, I'm gonna ask: are those walls padded or not? They're not padded.
Some areas,
If
they can afford to pad them, then they pad them. But if not, hey, it's just gonna be you and the pole, man.
Oh boy.
Yeah, a lot of our I've seen, they cut it off TV. When we're playing on TVs, they cut it off. But a lot of players, they run right into them head first. Some, yeah.
Damn. That's kind of like the bleachers at the Anderson, at the field we was playing at, down in Bullhead. That's the most beautiful stadium I've played in.
For an
for
indoor football,
perfect.
that was a very tremendous atmosphere.
Absolutely retarded for them to have them bleachers on that far end.
I saw D. Davis. Didn't he run right into the bleachers?
Right
that
into
one?
Yeah,
it, bro.
he had a couple of lacerations on his forearm and his leg.
Jeez.
It happened, but it's happened every time we played up there. And like, if they could afford to put like some type of like stepped padding, like reversed into like the bleachers going up, and made it like at an angle where it would be like a soft landing, that would be cool. But just having that little metal gate there doesn't stop 250-pound men running
the
full
steel
speed.
guardrail has no game for anybody.
Yeah, sometimes the walls don't even matter if you're like up close to the up front like row, because man, one of the
You don't have to worry about that in the trenches.
yeah. I had one experience on my first year ever playing arena ball. It was in San Antonio. We played at the Alamo Dome.
Oh wow!
There was a TV game, and man, I was playing sideline to sideline, and they had to cut it off TV, but it was a toss play, and I went off, and I like flew into the crowd, and I took a dude's head with me to where my helmet. I had the guy's helmet in my hand, and I had my helmet in a lady's face.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh boy!
Yeah, they didn't
Busted
show it.
up.
It
Busted up.
Yeah, we ended up giving her a football, a helmet.
A football and a helmet.
Nice.
You're gonna give me the weapon? You're gonna assault me and give me the weapon?
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, it was some tickets to more home games. We felt bad.
Hey, look,
Please
and
don't
they're
sue
gonna
us.
your 50-yard line right next to the action.
Real quick, Goose, before we wrap it up, real quickly, talk about the inspiration
I
that
don't
are
wrap
your.
it up. I go raw.
Stop it. Real quick, talk about the inspiration that is your two daughters.
Oh man, I love them both, man. They both play sports. My oldest plays 3. You know, I come from a background where I played multiple sports, volleyball, basketball. The only thing I didn't do much of is wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't really like the touchy feeling.
That was my favorite.
You know? Yeah, but everything else, track and field.
What was your event? What was your event and track?
I did shot put and disc, but I also ran the
Big man relay.
big man relay and
4x1.
and a 200.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I was
No, look, it's always the big dudes. Like it's all. He said he was a running back. You got to take a little bit of that weight off. The throwers, that are athletic, they dig out of that 200. It's like getting hit on a toss play. Like you really don't. It's something about like the physics of that much weight and power being put into that turn that it's fun to run like for bigger dudes, and there's a freakish amount of power that comes out of that.
Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Any last questions, Nick, for Mr. Oos?
So you played 10 years in the AFL. What team did you play for?
Oh man, a couple teams. I started off at San Antonio, and then I got picked up at San Jose SaberCats.
Oh, SaberCats. I'm mad that they took him out the league. I'm still anal about that. Yes, I am. Still mad. Go
Yeah,
Cats.
that was the best experience.
That was
had.
a good thing.
Go.
Yeah.
Now when they took the team out the
Portland.
league,
Yeah, Portland, and then I went up to New Orleans, and then I came here in Vegas. I played here 2015 when they had a team, Las Vegas Outlaws. Played at Philly Soul, and then Atlantic City, and then 2017 I played in Mexico. They had a team out there. They were paying people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you ever get to play in the Arena Bowl?
Yes. We actually played, but I did not play. We played against Arizona Rattlers that year.
Long time AFL staple, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I was hurt. I didn't get to dress that game. I wish I did, but yeah. And then when I played in Mexico 2017, we also played in Arena Bowl, and yeah, we lost to I think it was Florida, the Sharks. Yeah, Jacksonville Sharks. There you go.
All right. Any last questions for your teammate, Scotty?
If you could change one rule from the A7 rule set, what would it be?
The holding calls, man.
That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm hoping, and Will's been awesome. Like I really want to say, me and Will have butted heads over some shit. Me and corporate and me and everybody else have butted heads over shit.
You don't
because
say.
regardless of what people have to say, like I haven't played in a couple of seasons, but I'm still here for y'all, for the players. Like and I bring shit like this up, and I just want to say that things are they're going to get better from all of this headbutting, I promise.
One of the rules, though, I really want to, put it out there is the D-line, the DN. If you're lined up I like the arena rule where you got to have a piece of the lineman to rush.
What do you mean?
So if you're a DN, you got to at least have a piece of like the shoulder or the leg.
Oh, like you have to at least be shaded at some point. Yeah. Okay.
Shaded at some point.
That's
not be
one thing.
way out to where, you're not even going to get to the ball.
Right. Like it's people always say just kind of squeeze out a little bit more. You got to change your angles a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different dissection we can get into. I like that one. Will's been great about talking about rules and about accepting like comments and changes and stuff like that. That's definitely one of the ones we gotta, because in the rules it says as an O lineman you can grab a hold of the jersey as long as they don't try to break.
Mm-hmm.
And that's too much of a judgment call for like the emotions that run in this league between the players and the referees. Like it gets it's too vague right now, and I feel like it can get too emotionally charged, and calls can be made that affect the game as a whole. So I agree with that. It's usually a holding call. Like we saw one called on Big E that didn't really necessarily affect the play. That was a touchdown that got called back by Curtis Jones. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of plays like that happen. And I'm hoping we can get that resolved, because I like the push play, the push pull. Like as a football fan, like as a D lineman, I fucking hate it. Because you big strong motherfuckers grab a hold of me and my momentum's already going forward. I'm gonna end up eating a bunch of gravel, and I look bad on film. But it's a good play for football. Like and people complaining about it is usually because you're not strong enough to keep somebody's hands off you.
Interesting point and analogy there, Scotty.
Good point, Scotty.
All right, Big Oos. So this is your chance to give your shout outs, promote your brand, promote yourself, anything you want to, say. The floor is now yours.
Just want to big ups to the my team, Insomniacs. Let's get another one this year. To God foremost for allowing me to still play this game that I love. My family, my fiance, and my 2 kids, and my mom, and she's still in Arizona.
Shout out to Mama Oos.
Yes, Mama Oos.
I just want to also point out that 3 of the most ferocious people in our entire league, not just the division, on the field, are some of the best fathers we have in the league. And we had some of them on here. Like every single one of like the most like raw players on the field, like they have kids at home, and these are amazing fathers. Like
dedicated men.
You point me to a deadbeat we have in the A7. Like I don't know of one. Even the ones you think might not be taking care of their kids are amazing fathers. And I've been at the tournaments. I've been there when shit's going wrong and they're making the right decisions. Like it doesn't always look right, but we're always there holding each other down. We hold each other accountable for the most part. But it's as far as like the level of fathers that we have, like it's amazing to see that these huge human beings with these ferocious tendencies can be such great fathers. And a lot of respect goes out to the 3 of you, and I appreciate you.
Well, you can catch the Oos alongside Kenny Mack as the Insomniacs look to defend their title and look to repeat as NFL champions. The Oos, Wesley Mauia. Oos, we appreciate the time. The door is always open. We appreciate you. Thank you, Big Oos. Appreciate you.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, sir.
All right, as we're coming up against it, real quickly, so in A7 Film Nevada news, Coach Wallace has taken over the North Vegas Kryptonite.
Mm-hmm.
And the chirping going on, per se, is that 75% of his roster is made up of Las Vegas Kings players.
But the problem is that there's a lot of Kings players already on other teams.
True, but I'm just saying, how would that compare to A7 if there is a comparison?
Well, stylistically, like it would be good, but I mean, how many of those players are actually going to show up? Like I love Coach Chris. I'm just wondering how many, like, especially like some of the biggest playmakers for the Kings are already committed to other teams. Does he think he has the pull to pull them off of their established A7 team?
Don't know if it's that, but it's just an interesting.
I'm hoping they I'm hoping they come back with a squad. I'm hoping for the betterment and the development of every single team in Nevada A7. I'm hoping that he doesn't count on having just a bunch of Kings players to show up and take over the Kryptonite. I'm hoping he's doing other recruiting inside the league with the free agents and people from outside of the. We're seeing players play from other divisions. in other divisions. You got to play in one game during the regular season and you're eligible for the playoffs. There's ways to figure it out. There's ways to build a team. Like,
guys are even flying into play.
Exactly. And Vegas is one of those markets where people will want to play. We get the airtime. We have the coverage shows. We have multiple coverage shows on multiple different networks. We have the big deals being worked out. If you want to play out here, there are opportunities. These big time players in smaller markets, like if you don't play in a Florida market where like the potential for advertising and getting your name out there is damn near unlimited, maybe you think about traveling to a place like Vegas where you have that type of marketing ability. Maybe you choose to go to Vegas where you have the visibility where you don't get somewhere else. Think about it. It's only one game. You make a couple of $79 Spirit tickets ain't never broke nobody. Like I've taken Greyhound buses for less. Come on, man. Like, take a shot, man. Invest in your future. Go play in Florida. Go play in Vegas. Put your fucking name out there. You're not going to do it in these little ass divisions.
All right. Well, real quick tonight, the Gold had their tryouts, and the Hunters are currently having their tryouts right now at Hollywood Park as we speak. The Pit Bosses had one today. They're having one Saturday at 11 a.m. and Sunday 11 a.m. at All American Park. So again, if your organization is having tryouts, don't forget to please list them in the chat, and we will put them out for you guys. Nick, you will lead us off with your final thoughts. And once again, we appreciate you being on a guest panelist. Final thoughts, we'll start with you, good sir.
All right, let's get it. So I'm hoping for a great year in A7FL. Hopefully everybody could get along. I know, at the ends of some games, people like to be hostile towards each other. I say seize that. None of that. We want to keep this league professional as can be. Let's have a safe, fun game. I'm going to cut this shit with the rumors. Don't believe what you hear. It ain't fucking true. So I know everybody's been waiting to hear that. The Nightcrawlers, still the Nightcrawlers, and they're on a revenge tour. From what I hear, they're only getting better. So that's a big team coming out of the Florida division. Keep your eyes on. Always has been. So
does
yeah,
that
let's hope for a great 2024 season.
But he also
hope to see you guys again.
But he also said, keep your eyes on the O-Town Orange in 2024.
Right.
I'm waiting for you guys
right.
to tap into all that talent you got down there in Florida. You
Oh,
guys got a bunch of guys
So
down there.
much.
You guys got guys sitting on
I'm
porches
waiting
out
for
there
you
that
guys.
could dog walk people in the league.
I'm waiting for you guys to tap into Miami for sure. That's a certain.
Oh yeah.
And once the
Oh, yeah,
Haitians
like-
show up, we're gonna have some problems.
We definitely plan on making that happen eventually.
But they out there chasing chickens for cardio. We're in
like
trouble.
you guys have a division owner. You guys should know that obviously Florida division is owned by the A7FL, so it's up to them what they want to do. I always say go for it. Open
There's
it
enough
up.
money out there. Go get one of them
There
OnlyFans
definitely
bitches.
is.
Y'all don't want that. Y'all
Somebody
don't
do
want
it.
Jersey
And
running your league.
It's already made. The grunt work's been done. All you got to do is take it on over, build from where it's at. It'll only get better. This league only gets better. So.
All right, real quick, Nick, if people want to contact you, how do they go about doing that?
So there's a couple of ways you could get in touch with me. One of my fast responses is going to be through Facebook. Reach me, Nicholas Alaimo. That's Alaimo. You can reach me there. You could also contact me via cell phone. I text back pretty fast, 352-403-3803. And then if you
just gave your
always
number.
just
I'll be
reach
ready
out
for dick pics.
reach out to one of the A7FL Florida pages. I'm on those. I get all those messages. So if you want to get in contact with the Florida division, not just myself, you want to get some information about the league, how to sign up, what we're doing for the Florida division as a whole, just hit up the league. And they always send people my way as well. So if you can't get a hold of the league, can't get a hold of me, they'll find a way. I've gotten many people to find a way to me. So pretty open.
All right, well, that is the Florida commissioner of the A7FL, Nick Alaimo. Nick, we appreciate the time and thank you for coming on, being against Paladins. The door is always open for you, but I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it. It was fun.
All right, Scotty, your final thoughts.
My final thoughts would be, again, thank you to all of the people, our community, the players, the support staff, the production crew, everybody involved in A7. Anything that you want to get done, you can get done with this community. I'm going to keep harping on it. If you need something done, reach out on the Facebook page. If you, man, whether it be your car needs fixed, you need a lawyer, whether it is you need a new ceiling fan put in, whatever it could be. There's somebody out here that can help you. They're willing to help. I mean, sometimes everybody just, even if it's just a conversation, man, reach out. Somebody's here for you. We got you.
All right. First off, Chris McWilliams, Mr. Mouth, you need to stop right now.
My phone died. I can't read the comments.
Stop it. Stop it right now. He knows what I'm talking about. Anyhow.
He probably on them painkillers, bro. Don't get him started. He talks shit
he's already been, he's been started. He hasn't stopped since.
My phone died. I can't
somebody,
see the fucking
somebody planted the seed, and Mr. Mouth has been going in ever since.
Oh, God.
Anyhow, special thanks to everybody in the chat for showing love to your teammates and showing love to everybody that has
huge shout out
come
to
on the
chat.
show. Again, special thanks to Nick Alamo for coming in, the Florida commissioner. Special thanks to Chris Cunningham. Special thanks to Mr. Siah Sa'o, the Big Oos, for coming in. Also, the Oos, Big Wesley Mauia, for coming in. Of course, special thanks to Quan59 as always. Special thanks to our producer, Nick Blaze.
Yes.
On-site producer, Pierre, AKA Pierce Torres. And by the way, Pierce, happy birthday to your sister. Also, special thanks to our executive producer, Derek Duncan, who is doing what he does best. And also, I know Chris chimed into the chat tonight. He was on assignment, but he definitely made his presence felt. Definitely, as we are counting down the days to March the 24th, when the 10th anniversary season comes all into fruition. And can the Insomniacs repeat? Can the winning streak continue? Can the Northeast make their way back into the championship picture? Will the Nightcrawlers, as Nick just said, will they be on their version of their revenge tour? All that and more. Again, if you want to play this year in A7, again, a7fl.com/players. And again, if you want to get your season tickets now, you can go to a7fl.com. And also you have the chance to win yourself or get yourself a nice commemorative 10th anniversary t-shirt. And with that said, for the Viking in all his red beardness, I'm Double A. But before we go, we got Jeep that's going to take us out, and we will see you next week on episode number 74 of the Other Side of the Ball. But in the meantime, Jeep's going to take us out. We'll see you next week. You guys have a good rest of your week. Have a safe weekend. Take care of yourself and each other. You guys stay blessed, stay safe, stay healthy. Jeep, take us home.
Jeep Only is the official sponsor of the A7FL World Champion Insomniacs. At Jeep Only, customer satisfaction is their top priority. Jeep Only is the name, but Jeeps aren't the only thing that they sell. They have all brands available for purchase. You'll experience a seamless buy-in process and enjoy peace of mind knowing that you're getting the best value for your investment. Call 702-788-1748 and ask for Tommy Smith and mention your A7FL World Champion Insomniacs and receive that special discount.